So knowing what you know now, when would you have that conversation with him?
Probably about 12, 13, as young as possible.
As young as they can grasp the concept.
And I'm having the alcohol conversation. And a lot of people are like, no, alcohol's not a... No, have the alcohol conversation.
See, that's
try to isolate. People try to isolate. Well, alcohol is this, and then marijuana is this. No. Let's put them all together. And let's have these conversations because they're all life changing.
Right. That's the problem. I remember, and Tyler, you might resonate with this. I can remember parents, even though I never went to parties. I remember parents. One family in particular lived out in the country. They welcomed high school kids to their house to get to party because their opinion was they're safer doing it here than they are anywhere else. So for some reason we've accepted alcohol as this okay thing to do, but you start talking weed, no.
Yeah. Yeah.
You start talking cocaine, no.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, alcohol's ruined a lot of lives.
Yes. More so than any, probably.
More so than any.
But yeah, man. So I didn't, have those conversations, and I totally regret it. And then I had my daughter came up, and you guys already know. I've already talked to her about the addiction problem that she had to oxycodone. What is it?
Oxycodone. Yeah.
Oxycodone.
The painkiller.
Yeah. And Oxycontin, and I had no idea. Like that's something that I grew up with. Okay, there was alcohol and there was marijuana, and that's pretty much it. I'm much older than you guys, so I didn't go through all the opioids and all that stuff. I didn't go through that process. I didn't see the pills. And my daughter came up, and that's what hit her was the Oxycontin. She got addicted to that, and I didn't have any conversations. I mean, I saw DJ go through the process, and I thought, oh, my daughter will be fine. I was not in front of it.
So genuine question, and this is by no means to poke at you, to say you screwed up, none of that. You at the time were an NFL football player.
Right.
You were very immersed. I got to imagine you're very immersed in your career. You're very focused.
Actually, I had already retired.
Oh, you had retired?
I had already retired.
Well, but as they're growing up, though.
As they're growing up, yeah. As my son
whenever you
up,
said if you go back,
when
DJ was 10, what?
I'm having conversations, just preparing.
But I just mean, it's easy because I know it's easy for me to get so involved in what I'm doing at work.
Yeah.
I come home at 6:30, 7 o'clock, and my kids are about to go to bed. I poured nothing into my kid that day.
Yeah.
So how much of it had to do with the presence of mind that you had at that time for them during those developmental years?
Yeah, I don't know. I think part of it, man, was just the fact that I just didn't think it would ever happen to my kids because of the way how I dealt with it. I just thought, they might at some point, but by that time I'll be in front of it, and
or I'll see the signs.
I'll see the signs. Yeah, I think the buddies they hang out with, I'll be able to tell, if this and this happens. But it just, I was just living in my own world, man. I was so oblivious to what was really going on. And what was really going on, man, it would blow your mind when I actually found out how prevalent the drugs were. I mean, he's going to private schools. Kids got money. Then he went to a public school, which is one of the bigger public schools here in town where a lot of people got money. And the problem was outrageous. I mean, here in Plano, Texas, they had this, they call it the black tar.
Black tar heroin.
Yeah.
Yep.
And people were dying.
Right? Yeah.
Kids were dying because of it. And I was so oblivious to think, not my kids. It was right there in my backyard, man.
Yeah.
And that's the part of it. Those are you have regrets in your life. Those are the regrets I had in my life. That I just wish I would have gotten from it and been informative, introduced them, showed them, what the effects could possibly be. Tell them, and have these conversations, like real conversations, face to face, around the table. And I think that's the way I should have approached it.
And here's the thing is I think as parents, we're afraid to bring it up because we don't want to introduce the idea to them if they're not ready for it, right? So we're hesitant to bring it up, and that's probably more my nature. But by us not doing that, not having that conversation early on, we now stigmatize that topic. So now if they are dealing with it or they do have a conversation, then the thought is, I know for me, I never would have talked to my parents. Like if I had a question that my friend brought up, I was afraid that my parents wouldn't let me hang out with that friend anymore because now that's so evil and we don't talk about it. It's that bad. Oh, you can't be around that person. That person's a bad influence. But if you normalize it, and I don't mean normalize it, but if you open up that conversation, now if they have a question, now they're comfortable enough to come talk to you about it. Hey, mom or dad, I heard this at school today. Is that true? Or is that accurate? Or how am I supposed to respond to this? Or can you help me through this? Because you've already opened up that conversation.